Okay, so let's have a look at this, right? So we're going to look at Brabham in Western Australia, as that's where I live. We'll do a filtered search. So we're going to look for a standard 4x2 home. I call it standard because that's just the way I am. We'll do it with a 2-bathroom and we'll search that straight off the bat. Alright, we've got a couple of options here. So we've got a 4x here in Old Chatham, one there, so a couple in mid-800s. Alright, so let's have a look at this. We'll have a look at this one just as a base, alright? So, got some photos. Alright, so it's got an alright backyard. Reasonably standard. Kitchen's okay. Alright, so let's use that. I can see why they have the price setting as just above best offer above 7. So let's say we bought this for 750k. Alright. So, it's going to be a home, we're going to buy a property, we'll do principal and interest. The estimated problem, well, that's 750. The loan amount is 450, that's a 60% lend. So 75,000, so it's 150 at 20%, 650, so we're going to say 600. Let's see how that looks. It's an 80%, so we don't have LVR, okay? So we do a standard rate at the moment. This is with Commonwealth Bank. We're looking at 6.49%. There's an extras home loan, which is 6.59, or a fixed rate at 5.89. We're going to stick to this, okay? So that's currently listed at $37.89 a month, or $8.75 a week, all right? Now, you people are talking about getting native gearing, all right? Let's go and do the same thing again. So we're going to look at Brabham. Actually, we'll start a new browser here. Real estate. We'll look at Brabham again. This time we're going to go rental. Same thing, we'll do a 4x2. Okay, 4-bed, 2-bath home. Search. What have we got? Let's have a look for something similar. So this here, $850 a week. Now I know this particular house, so we're not going to select that one. And the reason we're not going to select that one is I think it's a bit high. Alright, so let's go a bit more basic. We'll look at $730 a week. Okay, so starting 4-bed home. Let's have a look at some pictures. Okay, yeah. Ooh, it's reasonably small. I don't feel that does justification. So guess what we're going to have to do? We are going to have to look at this house. And the reason we're going to look at this one is because if you actually look outside, you get a shed, you get a bit of a room. It's a good sized house. I've been in this house. I know what it's like. So $850 a week. Okay, you got a bond, $3,400. Okay, so $850 a week is what you're basic. Now, if we were to buy that house at that 750, which I think this house is probably worth more, to be honest with you. I reckon that's probably around the 820, 830 mark. So at 750, you're already at 875 a week. So before I've done any costs at all, we're already above this from an ownership perspective. And to me, like that's just the way it is at the moment. All right. Now we get stuck into the fun stuff. So we've got our house now. So we've got all the costs in, right? So you've got the 750 of the cost there. You've got us $29,740 stamp duty. We'll put 150 grand in. We've got a remaining loan of 600. Now, what I haven't done is I haven't added the 30 grand into the loan. All right, so we're just going to assume that you've got that extra 30 grand. So technically, it would be higher. Based on that, it gives you a mortgage of $789 or $875 a week. The real estate fees on base at around 11%, which is usually all inclusive depending where you are in the country. You're looking at about $417 a month or $96 a week. Council rates in this area are about $2,400 a year, so it's $200 a month or $46 a week. Water rates are about $13.20, which is $110 a month or $25 a week. Landlord insurance based on about $1,210 per annum. I did do calculators on this as well. $100 a month or about $23 a week. So all up, you are $1,066 a week in costs, which is your mortgage based on 20% deposit, your real estate fees, your council rates, your water rates, your landlord insurance. The costs we haven't included here are things like maintenance. Now, what do you do with maintenance on a new home? Well, what you should be doing is an annual aircon service. That's between $165 to $220. A garage door service is about the same, between $165 to $220. You should probably get the hot water system service as well. And if you have a whole of house water filtration, you're looking at about $300 to $400 a year. So there's more costs that are not included in here, and already we're at $1,000 a week. All right. So if we look at that income from investment, all right, so if we're going to say the rent minus the fees from the real estate, you're looking at $778. Okay, that's the income that the house gets after the particular cost from the real estate fee. All right, so your actual loss on the house, straight up, is $287 a week. Okay, so if you wanted to make money on this house, you were literally looking at having that rent at $1,100 a week. So if you were to get rid of negative gearing, the minimum you would have to have the house is at $1,100 a week. But let's take a look at what's claimable. Okay, so we can claim the interest from the mortgage. I've used a full calculator and it's worked out, and this will change over time. Obviously, the loan drops, but roughly speaking, $3,200 a month, or $738 is the interest you're getting charged at the start of your loan per week. If you claim that at a tax rate of around 30%, about $11,500 a year that you can claim back. Real estate fees, you can claim the $1,500. Landlord insurance about $362. Your water rate's at about $396 and your council rate's at $362. So you've got about $14,100 of claimable stuff per year. Again, one thing I don't have in here is the amortization of the asset itself. So if you build a brand new home, there's about another $13,000 out on top of this, and that goes down over time as well. So I'm not going to include it in here, but it is worth noting, all right? You have to make sure you've got a good accountant for this sort of stuff as well. So based on that alone, all right, if we have $40,000 of income, we got $55,000 of expenses, we add back the tax credit of $14,000, these are all annual figures here, right? Your annual loss is still $764, all right? Now, if we factored in the amortization credit, you'd be probably in credit a little bit, but we're talking about the fact that you've got the negative gearing component, okay? So $764 on a normal home that doesn't have the amortization aspect to it, you can't claim based on the deduction of the asset and the shell. You're looking at a $764 loss a year, even with the 30% benefit from negative gearing. This is what negative gearing provides you, all right? Now, if you didn't have the tax credit, you've got $40,000 of income, $55,000 of expenses. That gives you a loss straight off the bat at $14,900 per year, okay? Now, what weekly rent would I need to make that profit and actually make a few dollars out of the house? And by a few dollars, I mean literally under $100 a week. You're looking at $1,100 a week, all right, that I would have to make that rent. So all those people who say negative gearing and all that sort of stuff should go, I am telling you, if you do this, the next time you do your renewal on your rental, it will go up quite substantially. This would be going from $875 to $1,100 a week. And that's on top of all the other increases you've just had recently. That's the way it is, okay? So, you know, maybe we need to have a bit more of a think about this before you're thinking that, you know, what investment people are going to do is going to go and sell their homes. No, they won't. They'll just put up their rent. And guess what? What are you going to do? You'll pay it. You've got no choice. We're in a housing crisis. It's as simple as that.